The New York Times video has been covered and watched over 1 million times.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy.
We started off doing 5 dosas to 10 dosas per day, and now we're serving around 250 to 300 dosas per day.
How did it start?
I was born in Mysore. I always cherish and miss and growing around such a large family. That's what when we came here, that was the hole in the heart. When we moved here, we lost that connection, that feeling of that belonging here.
Yeah.
We were in that apartment in Brooklyn 4 years, right? And we didn't know our neighbors.
Even when you celebrate festival, so there's no people.
Then we posted one day saying, "Oh,
Chai and
let's
snack.
meet a chai and meet."
Snack.
So we invited a couple families, and we started talking.
Yeah.
So I think that was our first avenue of like connecting to people with food.
So she took 5 lunch combos prepared and in the cooler, and she went into the market. I think the first thing was old lady, right? Like the two couples. So they took the boxes, they ate that lunch, and they came back and they told to Swetha, this was the best food I ever had. So another story is that lady who came when she was in initial days of pregnant.
Okay.
And she had a craving of idli and dosa. When she saw that, like she started coming every week. Then later on, when the Eater article came, so she posted a big post. Until then, we didn't know that our son also likes now dosa and idli. Yes, he's 1 year old. His name is Ryan.
You feeling like you didn't belong, to you being seen by so many people. Welcome to the Rising Immigrant Show. Guys, today we're going to transport you from Bangalore to Brooklyn with Swetha and Venkat Raju's powerful story. Swetha and Venkat are working professionals by the day, navigating their lives in New York City, and over the weekend they turn into chefs. They sell South Indian cuisine, dosa, idli, sambar, filter coffee from their Brooklyn food stall. Now, when they started their food stall in 2021, it grew so popular, the lines were uncontrollable, that the market and the neighborhood couldn't handle them. So they had to move and transition into a commercial food kitchen, and they now serve food out of that kitchen. Now, allow me to welcome Swetha and Venkat Raju. Swetha, Venkat, thank you so
Hi.
much for coming to the show.
Thank you for having us.
No, absolutely. It's an honor to have you guys here in the studio. I know we've been meaning to do this since a while now, but I'm so glad that I have you guys in person.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for having us, sharing our story to the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's start from the very beginning. Okay. Where were you guys born, both of you? If we can start with Swetha, and what was childhood like for you guys?
I was born in Mysore in Karnataka. My father had a transferable job, so every 3 years we moved around in Karnataka, but mostly around Mysore, Bangalore, and Tumkur. My childhood was like being a puppy, walking around, running around. My mom and my grandmother. This was mostly my childhood. And I was the only girl in the whole family of like 16 cousins. So I was like definitely pampered a lot. Yeah, I have a like beautiful childhood that I can, I always cherish and miss. I think that's what, like, all that being pampered and growing around such a large family and all the cousins. That's what, when we came here, that was the hole in the heart.
Yeah. What about you, Venkat?
I born in Tumkur, and my father also had a transferable job. So every 2-3 years we move around in entire Karnataka, Tumkur, Bangalore, and Davangere, Chalkere, like many places. And finally got settled down in Bangalore from my college.
Got it.
Yes. Yeah. So I have 2 younger brothers, and my cousins are also like Swetha's family. My mother's side, like they have 10 siblings and children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of you had
So very big families.
Yeah.
So that's how like our childhood was very fun, because we used to travel a lot with the families, and like celebrate festivals together.
Nice.
These are
And how did you guys meet?
We are
family friends
and-
from childhood. Yeah,
Seventh
like-
grade is when my parents and their parents got acquainted, and then we
Yeah.
met them. And ever since, every summer we used to have like family trips, and I used to meet him summer.
Summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was there something between you guys?
Not back
not
then.
back then.
So how
when-
did it come along? Like,
we were like friends each other, right? So when we were in college, I think last year of college, we felt that
It's more
so
than just friendship.
friendship, yeah.
oh, that's so beautiful. And what language do you guys speak at home?
So we speak Kannada and Telugu.
Telugu. Okay.
Yeah, mostly Kannada.
And what type of food do you guys eat at home? Like typically, what would be a dinner menu for you guys?
Predominantly rice, right? So we eat rice, ragi mudde, saru,
Different kind of. Sometimes like once in a week, I mean, we eat non-veg too. But most of the time, like in a monthly, once or twice, maybe we eat non-vegetarian, right? So otherwise, like it's
rice,
mostly
rice, pappu, one palya.
sabzi,
Nice. And did you guys share like foods from your childhood? Like, did you enjoy the same foods when you were growing up?
Yeah, since we traveled to different places in Karnataka, every place has a different taste. Since we moved to a different place, we could have, we enjoyed a lot of different cuisines. Plus, at home also, they used to make a lot variety. So that's how we are very fond of food.
My mom and granny, they're very particular about how they use seasonal vegetables and all that. At that point, I didn't realize that much, but now that I'm cooking and tracing the steps back, I'm realizing their cooking methods were so sustainable and always use what was in season and things like that. I think it's just that when we are together, grow together and we see it just there in our back of the mind. We just didn't realize the valuable lessons they taught us.
Right. We there's so many things that we learn just by being in a certain situation that we don't realize and connect the dots later in the future. Now, if I talk about you guys deciding to move to the US, when did that happen? Was it like a collective decision? Are you guys married by then? Like, what's going on in your life?
We moved here 2016, right? So 16, Swetha came alone. Like after 6 months, we moved. Me and my kids moved.
We had both our kids by then.
Yeah.
Before kids, but after marriage, we were in Australia for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that was all because of work.
Yeah.
We were there and then we came back and then we said, oh, you know what, let's not travel because we just want to be with family, cousins and all. But then again, the opportunity with work came up. It was very lucrative. We didn't want to miss. And when they said New York, we were like, I think we want to try. As Venkat said, he was at the very peak of his career. Like he had started, he is into law. And then he had his own practice. He has his own office and all that. So it was a very peak of his career. He couldn't stop everything abruptly.
Yeah.
So I traveled alone. And then after 6 months, but then he all sorted out things back home at his office and everything. And then
I'm gonna take a step back. When you guys got here, did you already have jobs in hand or?
yes,
Okay.
it was with the job only.
Got it. So what was your first job?
I'm a software engineer and I work for a COTS company and that product, I've been in the same domain ever since. That's what took me to all the different places.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
And what about you?
So I practiced as a lawyer. So I practiced in a different field like real estate, litigations, corporate. And I also practiced with some real estate developers. Then I came into a law firm. So I practiced, I have 10 plus years of experience in law.
Very nice. So now in all this, right, you moved to Australia, then you moved here to New York, you both have corporate careers, you're working as a software engineer, Venkat is working as a lawyer, kids are at school. Where does this, bug of making food comes from? How does that happen?
Back in India, so our family had a small restaurant too. My father was taking care of that. Even with this job, that was side business. It is not full time. He was working for a government sector. Then he was taking care of that food restaurant. But in most of the time, the restaurant was handled by the third parties. Like managers and other stuff.
Sure.
He didn't have a knowledge about, he has knowledge about food, but he has never used to cook there, you know. So it was just managing, and we used to go there and, some days spend there. It was like a fun time. It was not like...
Have you ever been to that restaurant as
Yes,
well?
yes.
You have?
This was after marriage.
This was after
acha,
marriage.
This is
Yeah.
after marriage. Okay.
After marriage. Before COVID, Swetha decided to open up
we both started one restaurant in Malleshwaram.
Malleshwaram.
The plan was once the restaurant picks up, let's go back and make that full time.
Yeah.
But COVID hit and we had to shut that down.
So the restaurant which my father was taking care, because of the labor's issue, we had to shut down after 5 years. It was running very good, but still because of the labor's issue, we got shut down.
It's a very demanding
difficult,
field. I feel like if somebody asks me about restaurant business, I say this is the most time consuming and intensive work because you have to be on your foot, like you have to stand there and to make sure that the food is good, because otherwise it really suffers. So so now you guys started this food stall here in Brooklyn in 2021.
Yes.
Right after COVID hit. What were you guys thinking and how did it start?
Yeah, I'll tell you that story. So back in Swetha's mind, like since the two restaurants also didn't work because our presence was not there, she was thinking like she has to do something here. Like she had, she has to introduce our food, our culture. Some way we have to start this. And in 2021, she decided...
restaurant was not the first idea. We thought we should have some business going on. It can't be in software forever. Kind of a thing, that mindset. Also, a part of it was when we moved here, we lost that connection, that feeling of, being connected or feeling of that belonging here. Yeah. We were in that apartment in Brooklyn 4 years, right? And we didn't know our neighbors. We just used to say hi and bye. That
life
kind
is
of
so busy here.
It is. Both of us being part of that huge family and having people around us, and that
even
sense
when
of community and belonging was really missing.
Even when you celebrate festival, so there's no people.
We missed all of that a lot.
Yeah.
And then it was really hard. Of course, we enjoyed New York. New York has so much to offer, and we really loved being here. But still, that was always that's something missing in your hearts and thing like that. And also, we both are foodies and
we used to try a lot of restaurants.
True. We used to just go around, but since the things that we grew up eating with, that was all missing. We always
that flavors were missing. Like we were not satisfied. Wherever we go, like the taste will be good, like but you're not said.
Right.
And one day in the apartment, we thought, okay, let's just. That's how we used to do in India, right? Like we used to take food. Food was the connecting factor. Right. I remember, if there was extra produce from the farm, my mom used to send this to her neighbors, and that's how they became good friends now. So we thought, okay, why not because every apartment has this apps where you can
building link apps.
Meet people and greet. Sure. So our apartment building also had one thing like that, and then we posted one day saying chai and meet. So we invited a couple families, and 2 families came up. We started talking. So I think that was our first avenue of connecting to people with
through food.
That was our channel, and we met one family, one person there, and who is the
still he comes.
He is now the uncle for my kids who is not there in India, right? My brother far away from home. So
No, what you said. I can relate to that 100%. My mom used to say when we were little that I'm going to marry you 10 blocks from home. And the reason was because she wanted me to stay close. And I had such big dreams and aspirations from life. And I said, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to stay home. I'm going to go to a big city, fulfill my dreams. I lived in Mumbai for a few years, moved to Canada, and then moved here to New York. Now that I think about it, there's a big void inside all of us.
That's so true.
You said that earlier in the conversation. And the reason is one is we miss our families. The second is it is so difficult to build a life in a place that is not home to start out with, right? It is so difficult to build those connections, relationships, just have a sense of belonging. I think as immigrants, we miss that so much in our lives, and we have to find a way to sort of connect with the people around us and to feel like, we belong, this is home, right? Now tell me, from that first sort of casual meeting where you sort of, I'm imagining that in my head, you both are cooking at home, taking, packing the chai in a thermos, taking it downstairs to your common area, serving to the people. What kind of response did you get from that?
They said like the chai was very nice. Like it is nice that you guys are doing it, because since you invited, so we were able to meet. Like we were also in the same page that they didn't have any friends. They didn't have any.
We realized we're not alone in this. Everybody feels that void, as you said. And everybody needs that belong. We are humans after all. We need that community and sense of, a feeling of belonging.
Right. And we all gravitate towards love and connection. I think that's just so natural as humans.
And especially some people, so Swetha was telling Uncle, he moved from California in COVID season. And because of COVID, like in 2020, nobody talked to him. So in 2021, like people were slowly meeting other people. That's how, like when we invited, like he was so happy that he came, he played some games with my kids and, he said like he's working there, and that's how like then he started texting us, oh, you guys are free, can we meet and can we go outside?
We
that's
made
how
friends
still
through that. So that's when we realized that everybody is in this together and everybody has this. So we thought, okay, ever since then I was like, we should make this bigger so that we
she was telling like we should do something.
More people,
so I was like,
more friends.
What are you going to do? Like this is what we can do. So she said like, no, I want to do something. And then every weekend we used to go to that Fort Greene farmers market. Fort Greene farmers market, like that's the routine thing.
Go to the
market, buy some groceries from there, and sit in the park, have a picnic, and come back. So my daughter was watching some cartoon, Peppa Pig cartoon. So she saw a lemonade stand in that Peppa Pig, and she was maybe 4 or 5 years old. She said like, I wanted to do a lemonade stand for this summer. Or like she didn't wait for summer. She said like, oh, I'm going to do in spring break. So she did. Okay, where do we set up? We planned and we thought, okay, Fort Greene Farmers Market looks nice, so it has a very good vibe.
I mean, just because we know that space and it's just like 10 minutes walk from our place, we said, okay, let's do it the farmers market. And we did that at the farmers market. It was really nice how
she took some she wanted some colorful lemonade, like she saw like pink color.
Era, so we did the dragon fruit lemonade. So everybody came and people really enjoyed it, and the response and the way they treated it really felt so nice. And then we thought, we were like, since we were going there, we saw that there was no hot food section, there was no hot food, and then
so that's how Swetha got an idea for like, why don't we introduce our food here, like why don't I said like
Brooklyn doesn't have like a South Indian representation. As we were telling earlier, every 10 kilometers or every region has a different regional food, which lacks a bit of representation, I believe, because Indian food is stereotyped, as we all know.
Right. So what were the first few items you started with? What did you start selling?
That was on our birthday on June 25th. I was saying no to this one from the beginning. Like I was saying, like, Swetha, no, we'll lose our weekend. No, we don't want to do this.
But why did you say no? Just because?
Because I had I had the restaurant experience, which was, I mean, like my father, they shut down. I mean, this is too much stress. I mean, we have a nice
Thinking
job.
about the work and just life
nice
in
job,
general.
and weekends we can, relax. We used to travel a lot. So we're going to miss that. I said like, no, it's
Yeah, it was
okay.
like, we are like so comfortable now. Why do we want to take risk and
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and do
That was my opinion. And on her birthday, she morning like
By
she
that
woke
time,
up
luckily,
around.
all the licenses came through. And
Yeah,
I was like,
she
"No, I
applied.
just want to
she-
try. I have this feeling where I'm like, if you won't try, you'll never know unless you try something,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So
what she-
and that seed came in through, and I had to see it through. Otherwise, I wouldn't rest in peace.
No, I feel like I was just talking to a friend earlier this morning, and she's an entrepreneur as well. She makes Ayurveda inspired supplements, and we're talking. She's like, "Oh, we're moms. We have other things to do. Why do we keep doing this? Like, what's inside us as entrepreneurs or people who want to do something outside of the box? Like, what drives us? So,
Yeah.
what is it that you think calls you? Is it like sharing your food? Is it like something else? What is it inside?
For this one, I was like, there needs to be a regional representation, and I have to share this food to the community. I mean, for me, the first thought that came was, I really need to share this with the community, with my friends and colleagues. That was the thought, and the drive was, this is good. There is much other, tasty. People were paying so much for vegan and gluten-free food, but ours was naturally gluten-free and vegan. So we were like,
Yeah.
we need to showcase this. We need to share this, to the people. That was the drive behind it. And also, I think after we started, we realized that there was more to it. We needed that sense of belonging. That's when we realized after a few months.
So, what type of interactions are you having at the stall?
Yeah, when she started the first day, it's on her birthday, 2021. I was thinking like she was planning to. Usually we used to go weekend. Like she prepared some
What type of
food.
interactions we did have?
Yeah, I'll come to that. Yeah. So she took 5 lunch combos prepared and in the cooler, and she went into the market. I think the first thing was old lady, right? Like the two couples and the market person. So they took the boxes and they went to the park. They ate that lunch. And they came back and they told to Swetha, this was the best food I ever had. So, so that made her
must have
okay.
felt
Like she was
great.
so excited, and she called me to house, and I was with the kids. I was not going initially. So she called me and told, "Oh, this is the response I got. The first response. I'm so happy." And like she was so excited in her call. So I thought, okay, maybe she's feeling happy. Like, okay, let her do whatever.
Yeah. It's also validating, right?
Yeah.
If other people appreciate your work, whatever type of work it is,
Yeah.
I'm a podcast host, you are a software engineer and a cook.
Yeah.
If people like what you do, it's also sort of validates you. Now, going fast forward, the New York Times video has been covered and watched over 1 million times.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
If you think about all this, like in my head, I'm thinking, Swetha, Venkat, they're getting up, early morning Saturday, preparing for the day, taking all the food to the stall, setting up the food, people are coming in. The line was outrageous.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And New York Times comes and they cover you guys, video being watched over 1 million times. How has life changed after that?
First of all, I would like to. It's. I'm saying this with a lot of gratitude in my heart. When we started this, we never realized that we would be where we are. But without the support of the community, and without the eagerness of the people to come and try our food, we would never be here where we were.
Yeah.
So I would definitely want to thank
Thanks
everybody who
everyone.
supported us from the very first day.
Right.
I was like, we never went home disappointed. So that really, I
Yeah.
would say we
So
just
for the
got
God's sake,
lucky
we never went
and all
disappointed.
the hearts and feelings
Yeah.
for the community and people who supported us. After New York Times, as you said, yes, it got so busy. We were not able to cater to the line. We also, it felt sad that we were making
Many
people
people
wait
were-
a long time. But it was also a sense of pride, okay, yes, that feeling of, yes, we have achieved that kind of a feeling. And also that many people, just yesterday we were talking about this, many people who didn't know about Dosas really came and tried, and now like they are the frequent customers who come back every day. So we feel good about that.
Yeah,
like,
we introduced Dosas to many people.
The regional food to New York City, and ever since that, since it's hard, we've been trying to grow our team to get the people help us get our first store. And as next steps, since that street couldn't handle us anymore, we're now serving out of a commercial kitchen. That's still a temporary space, and now with all the support, it's like we've got that
Momentum. Push
momentum.
forward,
And also I think we trust ourselves more now that we feel capable of taking on or moving on to the next steps. So we've started like a GoFundMe and things like that to have a small brick and mortar and a small place to call it home. So
Nice.
Hopefully something soon.
Very good. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to talking more about what your future aspirations are.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a moment and reflect, from you feeling like you didn't belong to you being seen by so many people. So many people.
I really had goosebumps right now when you said.
That is a full circle moment.
It is, it is.
You start with thinking that you want to share your food with a stranger and make that feel that sense of connection, make that connection with somebody who you do not know through your food, and from that to being seen and appreciated by so many people, that's a long way. That's amazing. I love that about you guys. Now tell me, how did you prepare for Saturday mornings? Like, what was your typical Friday like? Tell me, go through that. Like, help me imagine what you would do.
Yeah. So it starts from actually Thursday. Thursday is we do the shopping. So then we start to prepare. I mean, Thursday night and the batter soaking, all that. Then Friday we do all the prep works.
Friday night we start peeling the potatoes. The cutting the onions, and all this starts in the Friday night. Even with the help of kids, we peel the potatoes together. Yes. So it is also nice that we will be talking to them and peeling the potatoes together. What we like about this is it's a family affair.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're missing out on their childhood or we are forcing them. They enjoy it. So it's been a family affair.
Earlier
so
days,
far, so we've been enjoying it.
Still my daughter
and
was
then
Saturday morning. We'll wake up very early. So
Saturday is a long day.
Because we prepare a lot of food on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So you do it the day off, not the night before. I would assume you'd make the stuffing the night before.
It would spoil
So
because we are out in the market where there's no proper refrigeration and everything.
Makes sense.
So we peel the potatoes and keep it ready, but everything is cooked, and even the chutney.
Of course, it's good. No wonder it's good.
Yeah. So the chutney is everything we have to make it in the morning.
I mean Saturday morning. Yeah, Saturday is a long day for us. We wake up around 4 a.m. And then get the palya, chutney and everything going. And by 9 o'clock, we try to wrap up and be at the stall.
Got it.
Which is always 10 to 10:30.
It has never happened,
So tell me, how many liters of dosa batter do you make?
So I think 15 liters into 2 boxes, maybe
around
30 liters.
30 liters.
That's a lot of dosa batter.
So sometimes in summer, in the market, we used to do 2.5 boxes. That is more than close to 40-45 liters of dosas. It went.
And I know I've seen you make dosas yourself. Do you make all of them on your own? Do you have somebody to help you?
No.
I mean, these days, our sous chef has started, Venkat has started doing the dosas, so I get breaks. I get good.
But
good
earlier
break
in the
now,
market days,
I used to do it.
because of that butane stove, the pan, it was this griddle. It makes it easy now. But earlier, when Swetha started with the small butane and the pan, with the flame, because of wind, it is very tricky to make dosas with that. I don't know how she handled and gave dosas to all these people.
We never felt tired because
because we were talking to people and we were
enjoying
it is
the
not
whole process.
not only
Really
just food, we were enjoying talking to them. We didn't think of commercial aspects, just
Yeah.
It was, we were like listening stories from them every week, different story. Or they said like one person said, oh, I met someone in the line and they married to each other. You know, like that's a nice.
Maybe you should cater the wedding event.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
she
so
she got
special.
one idea, that one too. Like she wanted to do singles event one day. You know,
that's so
like
sweet.
she.
Connecting over food. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Another story is that lady who came when she was in initial days of pregnant.
Okay.
She
And
was
she had a
pregnant and
craving
she
of
used to-
idli and dosa. When she saw that, like she started coming every week. Then later on, when the Eater article came, so she posted a big post. Until then, we didn't know that our son also likes now dosa and idli.
Yes.
He's 1 year old. His name is Ryan.
Amazing.
Ryan
And
is 2.5 years
2.5
old
years now.
and he still loves ragi dosas.
Ragi dosas. And
fantastic.
we made like first year dosa eating contest. We called him as a chief guest and gave him. That's all.
All the moms are probably like bowing to you, like,
Oh
thank
yeah,
you
after
so
that, like
much.
many pregnant women came, right? Like so
Yeah,
they
I
were.
mean, what I love about it is, you know how I said the sense of belonging. People like come talk to us about their day, talk to us about their week, their stories.
Yeah.
They share their stories, and also the best thing I was like. The day when I was like, yes, I love it here, was when one of my friends who I met in the dosa line came back to me and showed her
15 days old baby.
2 weeks old son. And I was like, for us back home, kids are the most precious thing, and we, for somebody to share that with you, that's when, you know, I said, okay, I do have people here. I do have a community.
Right.
here.
No,
I do
absolutely,
have
100%.
Yeah.
What I liked the most, and I was there, you know, last weekend, and I ate with you guys at the commercial kitchen where you're serving the food at. I really felt seen. You know, I was there with my son. You came over. Venkat came over. You guys stood by me. We talked. You know, I enjoyed my meal. You brought me hot coffee again.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you want? You want somebody to, you know, look out for you.
Yeah.
And that's what we really look for as humans, right? And I really love what you guys are doing through your food. You know, this is so much more than just a food stall.
Yeah.
You know, I
That's
love
like
that.
that's why we remember, like when we see other kids, like we remember our kids. Swetha made sure that in the stall we never took, charged for the kids. Like kids had a free dosas, and even the dogs had a free dosas.
Oh, that's sweet
That's
of you
what
guys.
that's what like we enjoy. We used to give it to them when they are waiting in the line for an hour. At least we can do whatever, you know, the small things, like giving some dosas. Like kids were waiting, we didn't want to see all that, like, you know, like.
Nice. I'm sure they appreciate that. So, since we're talking about children, you said your children are very involved with you guys. You know, they help you cook the food, prepare the food. While I was there, Mahati was there.
Yes.
You know, she was like
right.
a big part of the whole process.
Yes.
Do you ever wonder how they take it? Like, what is it going to do to them in the future? Like, do you ever wonder that?
Initially, to be honest, that aspect of the future didn't come through. I didn't think it like that. It was all right. Oh, they're enjoying it. And they were basically driving this in the sense, oh, you know what, Amma, now it's summer, we should make some sunshades out of cardboard boxes. So they made sunshades. And they were like, through the week, or by Thursday, Friday, they were like, oh, this week you should do this. I think you should introduce this. Let's give out this way. So they were all involved. So that became one weekly activity for us. They were like, I like the fact that they were like looking at it as a project, as a fun craft activity.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
Yes, and they like that, you know, because when we do in the Nimbus, we do every third Sunday seated lunch event. Like we were missing the festival. Me, you know, Swetha got an idea, like, okay, why don't we do like a community style seated lunch event? And she wanted to introduce all festival meal, which we could not do it at the market. So we thought we will do that and commercial kitchen. So they were very happy because they're wearing ethnic dress and coming to that event and celebrating festival with everyone. So that gives them, I mean, like they will be waiting for that every third Sunday.
So
They are very
whatever
happy,
they
you
were
know. Like,
missing, I feel like from culture perspective and all that,
Yeah.
we are trying to preserve that and show them how
Yes.
festivals were celebrated and all that. So that was also being achieved. So we
Yeah.
were glad it all. I was scared that it will be lost. That was my parents' concern also.
Right.
They're like, how would they know the importance of why we celebrate each holiday and all
Yeah.
that? So this was one channel for us, and the fact that they enjoy it and they are trying to let others educate or know about that was a good thing. And later on, during one of the interviews like this, my son said,
oh, that's in New York Times only.
Oh.
They detailed
New York Times? Oh, okay.
They entered 1 hour, I think. More than 1 hour.
So my son said, being exposed to all of this at this age, he has got so much understanding of how to run a business and what it takes to run a business, the struggle behind it, and he saw he expressed that he saw the growth and what it took. And what did my mom and my parents did to do that? That has given me a very good base. I never realized that until
Yeah.
they
That's
said,
amazing.
and that was
Oh, yeah.
we felt so good about it.
We felt
that
so proud,
all
like-
of this has given them a strong foundation,
Yeah.
and they can take it wherever.
Sure,
they
and
want.
use it however they want to use
Yes.
it in
Yeah.
business, in
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Otherwise,
He said the same thing. Like
True.
tomorrow we might continue, or we may not. We definitely want to continue the Brooklyn Curry project. But if we are not doing Brooklyn Curry project, but we got some ideas like
Right.
how my
to
mom
scale a
and
business and all
dad did this business. Like how did they talk to the people? This all I got some ideas, so we can do it in any other business.
that's
what
so
it-
sweet. That's what you want as parents, right?
True.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey,
you.
Swetha and Venkat. I wish you guys all the very best, and I hope that you continue to inspire all of us watching this episode, and also, young kids who are looking at your journey, starting from nowhere. You didn't have any experience in the food industry. You come here to a new country, you figure out a way, and you're successful. So if you want to say quickly 2 words about the GoFundMe campaign that you're running, if
Yeah.
you want to
Oh,
tell
yeah.
my audience about that.
We started off doing 5 dosas to 10 dosas per day, and now we're serving around 250 to 300 dosas per day, and all of this couldn't happening or without the support of you all, and with this gratitude and the support that you all have given us.
Yeah.
We are like ready to take the next step and start a small brick and mortar to call it our home. And we've started a GoFundMe. Like to request
Yeah.
any support that we can get from the community. Thank you
Thank
all
you
so
all
much.
so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.